All right. Matt, the mortgage guy. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you all about jumbo loans. As promised in 2022, as market share starts to decrease for refinance and for purchase, both lenders are going to start coming out with new products. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about a multitude of jumbo products, 10% down, 5% down, even 3.5% down jumbo products, which I'll get to at the end. Before I jump into it, if you would like, comment, subscribe, share this with somebody who you feel might benefit from it. As a mortgage broker who's in it all day, every day, talking to consumers, real estate agents, and other mortgage pros, I feel like I've seen a thing or two, so I know a thing or two. Anyhow, I want to jump right into it. As I said, jumbo products made a big comeback last year. Tons of different lenders were coming out with 10% down. As a broker, I've got access to all of them. As of today, February 2022, we've got even new and improved 5% down options and 3.5% down options. Before I present those, I want to talk to you about some of the guidelines on these other programs. I've got lenders who underwrite this stuff direct to Fannie Freddie, just meaning there's not extra overlays in place. There's not always 2 appraisals needed. There's not a ton of reserves needed. There's not extra things that you need to provide, which was always a turnoff for jumbo loans. When you talk to a mortgage loan originator who knew what they were doing, they would tell you if you could avoid it any way possible, you want to get a conventional loan versus a jumbo loan. This kind of solves that, where a lot of lenders would come out and say, listen, if it gets a DU approval, meaning the automated system that would approve it for a conventional loan says yes, we'll approve it as a jumbo loan. We're not going to ask for extra months of reserves, extra months of bank statements, extra, income documentation, or whatever it would be. A really fine-tooth comb underwriting process for jumbo loans was kind of what was expected in the past, and probably what you'll get with the big banks. So these jumbo products, I'll start with just the vanilla 30-year fixed, 20% down that you've always seen. A lot of lenders I work with will go up to $3 million. They'll allow you to have a debt to income ratio up to 45%, as long as you've got a 680 FICO or better. Sure, I've got lenders that can go lower, but this is kind of like par for the course, 680 plus FICO on these ones, where you're going to put 10 or 20% down. Also have jumbo ARMs, adjustable rate mortgages. These are surprisingly popular. When I talk to somebody who's buying a home or refinancing a jumbo loan, and they know that they're going to be relocated, they know they're going to move, and they tell me, Matt, there's no way I'm in this thing for more than 5 years, I'll present those options, because those things make sense. To take a lower interest rate, to have the rate only fixed for 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years. Those are the 3 different options that I have on these jumbo ARMs is 5, 7, or 10 for how long it's fixed. And after that, it becomes adjustable. Same here, where it's 680 FICO, 45% debt to income ratio. It can be a primary, a second home, or investment property for these. And if you go up to 3 million on these, you're only going to need 1 appraisal. If it's a refinance above 2 million, you're going to need 2 appraisals. So another jumbo product that's out there is jumbo interest only, right? So for 10 years, you're only going to pay interest. And then after that 10-year period, it's going to be a 20-year amortization, paying principal and interest. This is an option for some people to just want to keep cash flow. Imagine on a jumbo loan as well, like, we're not talking a small amount. If you're borrowing $1 million, $1.5 million, and you're not paying anything towards principal, just paying interest, it might be $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month, $1,500 a month cheaper to make this interest only payment. Now, buyer beware, this only makes sense to somebody who's got good plans for what they're going to do with that extra cash flow. And keep in mind, you're going to have to qualify for the fully amortized payment. You're just not going to be making any payment towards principal, right? So I know a lot of really seasoned investors that want more control over their money are going to say, give me that interest only payment. I'll make that towards my mortgage, because rather than pay down this 4% mortgage, I'm going to go out and take this money and use it 10, 12, 15% investments. Might make money over here. And if I decide to throw some of this money at my mortgage, great, but I don't want to pay down 4% at the expense of not being able to invest in something that might return me 20%, right? So those IO products, interest only, loan amounts up to 3 million again, 700 plus FICO, so a little bit more strict on the FICO requirements, 43% debt to income, a little bit stricter on the debt to income requirements. And like I said, 10-year interest only and 20-year amortization. Okay, now let's talk about the 5% and the 3.5% down, because I know that these products were few and far between, but I still had enough people reaching out to me in the last couple of years that I know there's demand for this. And I know that there's people that are looking for these products. It's going to take 720 plus credit score. It's going to take 40% debt to income or lower. So higher on credit score, lower on debt to income. They want to make sure that people aren't overextending themselves. It can be a primary purchase or rate and term refinance. Up to $1 million, you only need one appraisal. If you go between $1 million and 1.5, there's going to be 2 appraisals needed. And this program caps at 1.5 million. But you can buy up to 1.5 million, 3.5% or 5% down, no mortgage insurance. And the thing that I like about these, I remember searching far and wide for 5% down jumbo. And I can tell you that the terms were absolutely horrendous. Some of them had mortgage insurance. The ones that didn't had a rate that was just astronomical, right? And I'll give you February 2022 rates. You're going to be in the high 4s on these 3.5 and 5% down products, but there's no mortgage insurance, right? So you have to factor that in, that there's no mortgage insurance. If you want to pay a couple points, you can get these things down into the low 4s. And, you know, for some people who don't want to deploy a ton of capital into their primary residence, they want to put the 3.5 or the 5% down. Maybe this makes sense, right? It's not for everybody. And I don't think that, you know, I would pitch it as such, but for some people who want to buy, you know, 1.2 million down payment plus closing costs, only be out of pocket 60, 70, 80,000. And maybe that frees up the 150 or 200 that they thought they'd have to put down on this larger purchase, you know, because a lot of people are assuming 20% down. They're going to be $250,000 into this thing to buy at 1.2 million. If you put much less down, you can use that other money to deploy in a business, in other investment properties, what have you, right? So remember, it's not for everybody. Great credit score, low debt to income ratio, reserve requirements. We're going to need, you know, many months of reserves. They want you to be stable. They want you to be in a good position. So all these jumbo products, they have some similarities, and I want to talk about those because talking to these jumbo buyers, I've noticed some similarities. Restricted stock unit income is accepted on all these products. If you work for Apple or Google or any of these tech companies that are giving you restricted stock units, it's showing up in your W-2. Not all jumbo programs are going to allow this. All these jumbo programs I've talked about will allow that RSU income. These loan amounts are anything $1 or more above the county loan limit. In a lot of counties, 647,200 is the loan limit. In other high balance counties, that might be higher, but as long as you're above that county limit, you can do this. No mortgage insurance. And as long as you get an approved eligible through desktop underwriter, you're good to go. Any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me. Me and my team are more than happy to help. Go to greatmortgagebroker.com, fill out a form, let us know where you're at, how we can help. We'd love to get you started. And until next time, we gonna see.